Hello everyone, good morning. Thank you for joining Sunday Stock Storm. I'm your storm host Shananda Das. I'm a multi-asset trading and investment specialist. This is the 21st episode of Sunday Stock Storm. Those who regularly join my Sunday Stock Storm know that the storm is divided into three parts. First part, I take a look at the current market condition. And to evaluate the current market condition, I only use the line chart or my rainbow system. In the second part, I take up the monologue topic, which this time is money management models. And in the final part, I take up queries, individual stock specific queries from the participants. So once again, very good morning and warm welcome to the 21st episode of Sunday Stock Storm. The storm joining is free. It is free to join every time. However, the recording is not free. If you plan to join the future storm session, you will always find the link under offerings, Sunday Stock Storm, and here the link will be available to join the sessions. Past sessions are also available, but some of them are free to watch, majority of them under YouTube membership section. So very warm welcome, and let us start with today's Sunday Stock Storm. As said, first I'll take a quick look at overall Nifty condition. And I think the most important thing in the market is the risk. Risk is something bit complicated to understand because it cannot be fully measured before the event, like before taking a trade, or even when the trade is over. Whatever part can be calculated, I do it via my risk master. First, I take a look at the weekly chart. The top right meter shows the risk on overall equity as an asset class. The lower bottom meter, India Risk Master, shows risk on Indian equities. And recession risk, I've said many a time, we are in the cycle, but we have not yet hit the recessionary sell-off. As a matter of fact, I see significant strength building up in the Nifty. This is the weekly chart, and from the weekly chart it is clear that the market is not in a bear phase. It can be, once again, as per the Dow structure, it has moved into a bullish phase, and a breakout of this top around 25,350 area will confirm that we are in a bullish trend. Once this part is over, I take a look at through the daily chart, which is more short-term swing. And here I can see the overall risk on equity as an asset class has gone up. That means some of the equity market like US equity market, Europe, Japan, they could be facing significant risk of drawdown. Compared to overall asset class risk, India is much more calmer. शांत है वहां पे risk. It is much safer, though some risk aversion can be seen. After taking a look at the daily chart, I take a look at the more short-term chart, that is the 125 minutes chart. Here also Nifty is in a bullish trend, but a turnaround. President Trump announcing 100% tariff, probable 100% tariff on China in response to China's decision to curb exports of rare earth minerals, which is very important to create magnets which are used for electric vehicles. So as a tit for tat measure, President Trump is planning to restrict technology access to China as well. That means the battle between US and China is further ready to heat up, and that will have a downturn effect on Indian market as well. We can see from the risk master that the risk has gone up but not significantly high. So it will be then the coming week the battle of the bull and the bear, and we may get more range bound market than heavy sell off. After taking a look at through the risk master, I will close off the risk master and I'll once again go to the weekly chart and look via the asset master the situation. As I go to the asset master, I will bring to your notice a full green candle. Once again, as I said in last week, it is though we had a sell signal, it was not a very strong sell signal. So the battle basically is in continuing mode for control over the market between the bulls and the bears. Buy trade win probability has significantly gone up. The upper meter, if you are not able to see, let me make it bigger. We can see buy trade win probability is around 89%. I'll also take you to the monthly chart, which I think significantly interesting now. For the first time since this started in October 2024 correction, for the first time we are getting a full green candle in the monthly chart with white cross inside the candle. This is a significant change considering we are heading to November, where we are expected to get some progress in India-US trade agreement. With President Trump increasing his tariff threat on China, and if we can get a trade agreement, this will turn positive for Indian markets. A lot of global investors will be interested in India if we can get a good trade agreement when the battle with the US and China is heating up. This is significant change in the market, and we need to look at the Nifty 500, not the Nifty 50, to understand about stocks. And here also, for the first time since last October, means almost in a year, I am witnessing a full green candle with white cross inside the body. That means the October price action will be very, very important. And if we can continue with this full green candle, this is very positive for the Indian equity market. Even when we are in a recessionary cycle, the best bull run comes within the last 12 months before the market completely crashes. So there is a strong possibility we may once again see resuming of uptrend in the Indian equity market. And you should be positioned well if that happens to benefit from the up move. Even when we are in a recessionary cycle, as the biggest run comes in the final phase, we cannot just stay out of the market. Now we'll come back to the more weekly chart, which is more required for trading, swing investing into stocks. Nifty 500 given a buy signal with a 86% win probability. So I am seeing after a very long time quite a significant comeback in the Indian equity market, not seen in almost 1 year. I'll once again go back to the Nifty chart, look at it through the weekly lens. Once again, bullish 89% win probability in the weekly chart. So market has significantly turned bullish as per my reading, even though we can get some short-term volatility because of this latest tariff announcement by President Donald Trump. Now we'll go to the more daily chart of Nifty 50 to look at the overall condition. I can see a very strong comeback with a buy signal followed by the candle. We have a very good base around 25,000 area. So even we get a down move in the early part of the week, say Monday, Tuesday, there is a strong support of Nifty and it may try to stage a comeback. So at this point, I have not turned very bearish or even slightly bearish. I'm looking for could be more range bound price action or bullish price actions. Buy trade win probability is lower on the daily chart, 57%. Let's go to the more short-term chart, that is 125 minutes chart. And we have seen strong bullish movement so far. Now, if the bears win on the initial part of the next week, it will try to correct and the base is around 25,000 area. But I think it is my personal opinion that Nifty may start to find the support even before that. So with the latest Trump announcement, Nifty can turn bearish, but not significantly bearish. This is very important to differentiate. In these markets, good quality stocks will continue to go up. However, as we are getting short-term correction chance, some of those good quality stocks will give zigzags and try to throw you out of the position. So it will be important that you maintain that outlook, have a picture, okay, it may come down, but overall it is bullish. Focus on the more long-term chart and quality position in terms of trend, momentum and price action. Once this part is done, I will take a quick look through what is going on in the option market of Nifty. For option trading, we prefer more short-term charts. Like stocks are better, different asset class are better in different type of charts. Like bonds, stocks, these are better in the weekly chart, as discussed in the previous talk. Similarly, any kind of derivatives, commodity futures like gold, silver trading. Similarly, Nifty future trading or Nifty option trading, these are better in the short-term charts. So 125 minutes chart, I am applying the option master where it is clear the signals are for the bullish trades, bull call spread and bull put spread. If we get a correction in the Monday and Tuesday, some of these signals may go away. Now what I will do, I will switch on the strategy meter to see what are the direction, what are the clear picture coming out of the direct option reading, not a reading on Nifty chart, directly coming from the option market. So I have made the expiry day on 20th October 2025. At the money strike taken as 25,300 because market is close to that. Okay. And these are the trades which have higher probability of success at the moment. Bull call spread, that means bullish. Bull call ladder, that is more bullish but rangy strategy. Bear put, matlab bearish trades are not at all preferred. Bear put ladder is another range strategy on the downside. That means if we are getting a sell signal, sell off in the 125, market is signaling the sell off could be more range bound. Now I'll switch off the option master, go to the weekly chart. and take a look at the situation with the small cap, apply the asset master. I can see a full green candle but no buy signal. Like we have seen in Nifty 500, we have seen in Nifty 50. Let's once again look at the readings. Nifty 50, much bigger candle, which is better for positioning, 89% win probability. If I look at the Nifty 500 charts, a full green candle, much bigger, weekly chart dekh rahe hain, 86% win probability. But if I take a look at the small cap, the candle is much smaller. It is better, bullish, but not as bullish as Nifty 50 or Nifty 500. Let's look at the mid cap as well. Slightly better than small cap. Win probability is around 86%. So if I rank based on the strength, I can see the highest strength on Nifty 50, then Nifty 500, then mid cap, and lastly the small cap. So when you are positioning yourself in the market, you should consider these rankings, that small cap stocks may not be as strong as the top stocks like Nifty 50 or Nifty 500, the overall stock market. So this is the situation with the current market condition. Now I will move to the topic of the day, that is money management models or mastering money management. I'm now showing the PowerPoint presentation. If you want to take note, you can take note. This video will be available for public viewing for 2 days. But future Sunday Stock Storm, as we will be covering more interesting topic, they will not be available for public viewing. Only after all the storm is over, it will be released for public viewing. Money management is a bit of vast topic and a very important one. Let's give an importance to, लोग ज्यादा चाहते हैं कुछ इंडिकेटर दे दो, कुछ buy sell signal मिल जाए, tell me about the stock, which one I have to buy, and focus goes less on the money management. Like if I can suggest a stock, for example, not to jump on, I have already did this example, L&T. Since my suggestion, it has gone up, but that is not the only question. Which stock? How much? How much quantity of that stock you should buy? So these questions come under money management. We will be able to cover this topic not in one class, possibly in 3 Sunday Stock Storm. We will cover this money management topic. So money management model, first what we'll cover, what is the philosophy of success in trading, what are the must areas in trading and investing if you want to reach super success, and then we'll move to the mastering money management part. This is the main philosophy. Focusing and improving on core competence will lead to outperformance. I've said this many a time. If we think like everyone else, I'm holding Business Line newspaper, and if I open up the newspaper, today is Sunday, and I open up the mutual fund page, they give a mutual fund details. Say on the top mutual funds, Canara, Rebeko, ICICI, Nippon, their return in the last 1 year has been 1.5, 2.6, 3.1, minus 1.2, 0.3, 0.8, minus 4.2, 1.9. Suddenly what happened? The money managers became inefficient. For the last 1 year, if you have gone into mutual fund, you are earning almost nothing. You are better off if you had put the money into government bonds, even fixed deposits. We have covered asset diversification in the last page, last Sunday stock stall, and the mutual fund performance should clearly convince you that always going for the equity is not a great idea. It is not a winning idea. We have to choose the asset class properly to make the best return possible. These are the 4 core pillars of trading success. Means you will have to improve on all of these 4 areas to make yourself significantly super trader. Core competence 1 lies with analytics, where majority of the focus goes. कि कुछ setup दे दो, some indicators or some method, some style, all goes under analytics. Analytics is a vast subject, but you don't need to know all part of it. You need to choose a method from core competence analytics, which will help you to choose stocks or commodity or whichever you are trading. So you may choose to specialize in a certain area under analytics, which include macro fundamental. This is my specialized area. Cyclical, this is another area of my specialization. Intermarket analysis, which I regularly do. Sectorial, industrial, and company specific. Here I focus less. I only use my bag of tricks, not read annual report after annual report, which is Mr. Warren Buffett style. I rather use the bag of tricks in case of choosing the fundamental stocks. So to build a competence, you'll have to learn at least 1 or 2 areas and have significant knowledge on it. Then comes core competence 2. This is where majority of the participants are interested. This is about timing the market, which I personally heavily rely. As I focus less on stock specific fundamental, I focus on the gem phase. मैं अपने रेनबो सिस्टम से स्टॉक का जेम फेज पकड़ता हूं. जेम फेज एक ऐसा फेज है where the stocks tends to go up very fast and the risk of loss is significantly lower. This includes time relation, how time is important in trading and investing, as well as technical analysis, that is price behavior in time. To make a success in trading, this core competence area is must. How timing and time affects your trading investment decision as well as performance. So you'll have to have a tool which will make you a better timer as you are investing into stocks. That part I do with my rainbow setup. Then comes core competence area number 3, risk management, which is pretty vast topic but can be divided in the following parts. One is exposure and money management that we'll discuss today. The other part, which is little more complicated, is understanding risk, measuring the risk which cannot be fully done, and controlling the risk. As a market participant, you cannot avoid the risk. Risk avoidance is not an option because that will cut down your return. You may choose, sir, I don't want any risk, zero risk of loss. Can I make money? Yes. With a government bond around 6 to 7% rate, you can grow. As we take more risk, our chance, not a guarantee, our chance of making higher return goes up. Also goes up that we may not make it and ultimately could end up in loss or become a loss-making trader. So today our focus will be under risk management, exposure and money management part. Then of course a vital area, even least understood, is psychology management, mastering the mind. So these are main 4 areas of core competence building in trading. Majority of the people only focus on either core competence 1 part, using stockage, looking through the fundamental to decide is this stock good. Many of them ignore the timing part, just buy a stock. Maybe it could be down phase, up phase, does not matter. Some people use both of them, timing, and they keep on searching for a magic indicator or magic setup in timing, which does not exist. ऐसा कोई भी magic नहीं है. But there are tools like I have Rainbow to time the market properly, whether I'm doing stocks or commodities. So now I'm focusing on the money management or exposure management part. This is a very important technique to keep your investment portfolio in healthy. Like you have a garden, example. When you are choosing a stock, it is like you have planted a tree or several trees or plants. But to have a healthy garden, you need to maintain it. Just putting down a plant or tree will not make your garden beautiful. It can make it a jungle if not maintained. So stock selection is only one part of the game. The other parts are also money management, psychology, etc. So money management models are not stock selection tool or process. They come once a stock is selected. आप decide कर लिए okay L&T or Tata Invest or some other stocks. It decides what will be your investment amount on or quantity once the stock is selected. And after you have gone into that stock, you'll have to maintain the right exposure, like cutting the plants. जब stock अच्छा नहीं phase हो रहा है, then we need to reduction. That means the money we have withdrawn, we need to reallocate that money so that it makes better return. And finally, if a stock is really good, how can we add it up, or when should we add more quantity on that stock? Money management IQ. IQ is standing for investment quantity. Investment quantity is deciding how much money you should invest after choosing that stock based on core competence 1 and 2, a combination, or individually selected based on fundamental, not the timing. First, we have to take into account whether we are diversifying our portfolio or not. I have discussed partly a diversification means into different asset or different stocks, which is different than going into only one stock. Say Tesla. You invested all your money into Tesla. But suppose something happens to Elon Musk, which is not related directly to the company, Tesla stocks will significantly go down, at least by 50%. That means there is a concentration of risk that something can happen to Elon Musk. So this is a diversification is a process that we are dividing the risk into different stocks or different asset class like gold, bonds, cash assets like foreign exchange assets, etc. I have highlighted the methods of diversification in the last term, that is IAD, intra-asset diversification, matlab within stocks or bonds. Then we have DAD, dual asset diversification, multiple asset diversification, which can include commodities. Dual asset largely include bonds and stocks. Multiple asset diversification includes stocks, bonds, commodities, and cash assets. And we have advanced leveraged asset diversification, where part of our asset, like in my case, I'm doing commodity derivatives, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, as well as option trading, future trading Nifty. These are leveraged, not asset, more contracts. So when we have those in our portfolio, it is ALAD, advanced leveraged asset diversification. Finally, we'll come out with the amount to be invested in stocks based on equally weighted. मतलब सारे stocks में equal weightage. If you do not consult too much fundamental or have no bias for say Tesla. Preferentially weighted, you have some conviction about a particular stock, so you are adding more quantity on it. Or volatility based weightage. Which stocks moves more, there will invest less maybe. The stock which moves less volatile way, we may choose to invest more. So these are the basic steps. So let us understand this. थोड़ा डिटेल में समझते हैं, step by step. Suppose you have chosen stock X for investment. How much should you invest? First question, are you diversifying at all? If the answer is yes, suppose you have chosen like last Sunday stock storm DAD, yani dual asset based on age factor, and your age is 40. That means 40% of your money should be in the bonds and 60% of the money should be in the equities. That means if you have 10 lakh rupees to invest to grow your money, 4 lakhs is going for the bonds at age of 40 and 6 lakhs going for equity. So we have taken the approach DAD, dual asset diversification. That means now I have decided, okay, 6 lakhs will go for stocks. Now I'll have to decide, will this 6 lakh be invested in one stock or a multiple stock? Means, are we applying IAD, that is intra-asset diversification, मतलब within the asset, stock के अंदर, different sectors से maybe stock buy कर. If we are going IAD, suppose we have decided no, I'll go for intra-asset diversification, और मैं होल्ड करने वाला हूं about say example 10 stocks. Now comes the next question, will this be equally weighted? मतलब 6 lakh rupees divided by 10, will each stock get 60,000 rupees? Will it be preferentially weighted? Like if you think NetWeb will do better or LNT, you may choose to do more quantity on the LNT. Or will it be volatility based weightage? I'll cover later on volatility based weightage. First, I'll take more the simple approach. Let's look at the intra-asset diversification. मतलब different stock में जा रहे हैं. We are not going into commodity or bonds. Within asset diversification हो रहा है. So how many stocks to consider holding in the stock portfolio? This will answer via IAD. What kind of should we consider portfolio clustering? What is that? That is dividing your portfolio into two parts. Even when you choose to be, no, I'll be a short-term intraday trader, even then your portfolio can be divided into two parts in case of stocks. One is core holdings portfolio, which Vivek sir sometimes refer as mother portfolio. Or another part will be swing investing portfolio. And then the question comes, how many stocks in core portfolio and how many stocks should you hold in the swing portfolio? To make a decision, I'm now applying the IAD techniques or the best practices done by all the important fund managers in the world. This was a remarkable research released, if you are familiar with Journal on Corporate Finance, Journal on Technical Analysis, Journal on Portfolio Management, like these are magazines, important magazines, very important magazines, where different ideas gets published. There in 1997, in the September month edition, Mark Vakur has done a remarkable research and showed that IAD, intra-asset diversification, can be achieved only by holding 7 to 8 stocks. Almost 85% of the diversification need is complete by 7 to 8 stocks instead of 1. If you follow other academic papers, majority are citing 10 as an optimal number for retail investors. If I take one of the legendary trader of our time, that is Mr. Mark Minervini, he is suggesting at one time his portfolio, he has 10 to 12 stocks. And within that 10 to 12 stocks, the maximum weightage is on 4 to 5 stocks. Like in my case, my international portfolio, I have significantly high weightage on Tesla. And these stocks can be distributed between 4 to 6 different sectors. I will, once the money management part is over, I think you will have a very good idea to how to grow your money at a respectable return rate. Let's move forward. IAD conclusions. For best result considering diversification choice, मतलब आप diversify करोगे, an investor can have two separate folios. So immediately if you have money to invest 10 lakh, the first thing you should start is by creating list. which stocks you should consider as core portfolio, and which stocks can be considered for swing portfolio. Let me give few examples. In our core portfolio, we should choose stocks which are going to stand the test of time. Example, Bombay Stock Exchange, Multi-Commodity Exchange MCX, CDSL Central Depository Limited, NSDL. Like no matter what happens, these are exchange-based stocks, investment-based stocks. They are going to remain for the next 15-20 years for sure. Like if some real bad events come up, NetWeb may not exist, but MCX will. NSE, BSE, they will. They are exchange. Swiggy may not be there. Maybe Zepto will become the leader. But once again, MCX will be there. Core portfolio should have stocks like those. And core portfolio is more like buy and hold. You don't tend to sell them off. And you want to buy these stocks as cheap as possible. When applying the technique of core portfolio, you can choose a system of passively invest करेंगे, that I will discuss in going ahead. And we can choose to be more dynamic. I'll explain more dynamic right now. Weekly chart, like I have chosen such stock as Bombay Stock Exchange. I'll now reduce the size of the meter, adjust the chart, like Bombay Stock Exchange. I want to buy this stock and keep it in my portfolio, and I'm choosing to buy the stock whenever I'm getting a buy signal. Like once again, after this big sell-off, when the BSE will be ready, I will invest in Bombay Stock Exchange as part of my core portfolio. That means I'm choosing dynamically how to swing invest. But some of you may not be good at, that's okay, because not many people good at timing the market. When to do this buy signal. You may not have the rainbow with you. So in that case, you will choose more passive method, which will be discussed later on. Now, as per Mark Vakur research and general academic papers, then we should hold in the core portfolio 8 to 10 stocks. If I am choosing BSE, MCX, CDSL, NSDL, these are falling into the same sector. You may choose to diversify here different sector, like for example, TCS, Tata Consultancy Service, going through an extremely bad phase if we look at the chart. But I'm pretty sure, like as same as Tata Steel, that these companies are going to remain for a very long time. So that will be a diversification of sectors. So try to choose 4 to 6 sectors, and within 4 to 6 sectors, choose 8 to 10 stocks and keep them in a separate list, as these are my core portfolio stocks. Then you have a swing portfolio, where once again, as per Vakur research, we will choose maximum 8 to 10 stocks for long-term swing trading. Unless you are finding yourself very good at short-term trading, like intraday, 125 minutes chart, daily chart, you better come and swing trade using the weekly chart. The more you short-term trade and not successful, you are making the government and the broker rich. But if you remain in a stock in a good phase, they will give you dividends, split like in case of Tata Invest, and your money will have significant growth. So I will personally always prefer and also shown you with evidence that weekly chart is one of the best for long-term swing trade. And this will give you lot of time. You don't have to every day check the stocks, and you can focus on your derivative side of trading like commodity futures, which is very good returning, and as they are more risk, they will require longer, bigger, important attention. As you go weekly chart into stocks, you can give attention to your derivative portfolio. So this is so far, let me bit of summarize what we have covered so far. Money management technique decides what is your quantity of investment, and once the investment is done, it helps in deciding or maintaining good health for your portfolio via quantity reduction. If things are turning bad like BAC, quantity can be reduced. Then if quantity reduced, money can be reallocated to which stock, how much, and if the stock is still good, then pyramiding more quantity into that stock. We have learned the best practice would be to diversify your stock portfolio into two parts. One is core portfolio, that is more buy and hold. You don't want to square up them very easily. You want to swing by them when everybody is fearful, TCS is falling 50% or 40%, let it drop, let it crash. And when once again the buy signal or Dow structure coming, you will swing invest into that stock and hold, not square off. Every time they are available at a discount, you are going in. Each portfolio for best diversification of IAD, that is intra-asset, holding 8 to 10 stocks sufficient. You cannot hold more than that and give attention. If you tend to hold more stocks, 20, 25 on each folio, your overall return comes down. That is what Mr. Vaku researched. When you do more diversification than required, your performance actually goes down. So best practice observed across the globe by important fund managers and traders is to have 8 to 10 stocks in one stock portfolio. So core portfolio will have 8 to 10 stocks from 4 to 6 different industry or sectors, and your swing portfolio can also have 8 to 10 stocks from 4 to 6 sectors. You can make it passive. Let us understand how we can make more passive. I'll go to more passive into core portfolio later part with a particular matrix MMM, but let me give you a general idea about the swing portfolio. It is not too difficult in today's world with AI as your guide and friend. AI will not be good at telling you about intrinsic value of a stock because it is a website aggregator. But what you can ask, given a 2 to 3 year period, which are the sectors that can do well. So once you get an idea, or you can use your own idea, your own analysis, your own experience, your own preference to choose 4 to 5 sectors, and from 5 sectors you can choose top 2 stocks, the leader, top 2 leaders, and then can do passive swing investments in them. We'll discuss more about passive way to do it when we discuss the money management matrix. What the money management matrix will do or clarify, should we add more money to a certain stock in my portfolio? Means you have a stock already. As I said, money management is not a stock selection method. Once a stock selected in your portfolio, say Tata Invest, should you add more money to that stock? Should you hold that stock in your portfolio? When should you look for an exit from that particular stock? These 3 important questions will be answered by this money management matrix when I discuss this. And this money management matrix uses this method, that is matrix multiplication. Those who have done your engineering in the early days or mathematics honors, in the early days you have done matrix multiplication model. So this will be similar to matrix multiplication. We have certain conditions. What are the conditions? Stock specific. Like a stock can go up, stock can go down, or it can go sideways. So what will be your action regarding this? And we have another condition, that is the overall market or the broad index, which can also go up, can go down, like Nifty 500 we can choose, or Nifty 500 can go sideways. Combining these 3 and 3, total 6 conditions, we will try to answer these above 3 questions via this money management matrix. This money management matrix will be discussed in the upcoming storm. As I said, this money management cannot be fully covered in one single class. So that's all for today. Best wishes from my side. And here we are ending the second part of our discussion, that is the monologue, money management models. So next Sunday stock storm, we will go up to this money management matrix, which has been created by Peter Nilsson. So thank you so much everyone for attending the monologue portion. Now I'll be happy to take any queries regarding particular specific stock if you want to know. But before we can discuss that, remember risk management rule number 1. You should not jump on any tips or my saying. You should do your own analysis also. You are taking guidance from me, but final decision you should make only after you have analyzed. Otherwise, you will never have the right mentality to do stock trading and investing. One of the important factor in trading and investing is to accept the uncertainty portion. Like fear क्यों आता है? You have experienced fear. If you are in the stock market, you are fearful. Should I take a position? Can I do? Sometimes you will see your hands trembling if you're in a heavy position. Fear comes from uncertainty. And in stock market, unfortunately, uncertainty is there. Like nobody knows the future. मैं recently सुन रहा था to Paul Tudor Jones, one of the greatest hedge fund managers to have ever lived, featured in Jack Schwager's famous book Market Wizard. So Paul Tudor Jones is a market wizard, and in his latest interview also, he also said he doesn't know what is coming in the future. So we all have to accept this uncertainty portion of the game. This uncertainty portion, you can take it as a risk that, oh my God, I don't know what will happen to that stock in future. Or you can take as an opportunity. Like if this was certain, then only people like Mr. Tudor Jones, who are one of the best, they will only become successful. Because it is known who will know the best players. But as nobody knows the future, then you also, like me, we have an equal opportunity to make money out of the market. So this is a very important part of psychology, is to accept the uncertainty and accept responsibility. If you listen to me and just jump onto a stock listening to me, and the stock goes wrong, which can go wrong, I'm never always right, you will say, I lost because of this guy. You are never taking the responsibility of your own actions. You are just pushing the responsibility to the tip or me. So as I discuss, I am expressing my view, but you should not jump just listening to my view. Have a look. Whatever I have taught you via the Sunday stock storm, try to apply them and see what is your analysis telling you. So now I'm going to take your queries one by one. Let me go to the stock charts, and once again I will only use the rainbow setup or the line chart. Like line chart is also good. It has gone up but not given a Dow structure in BSE. Dow structure is something you should practice first. It is not a late in giving signal, like exit came here. So it is not a late signal. It is a very important to know and learn about Dow structure. Umajika, I'm a rainbow student. Okay, on which time frame do we need to buy, sell stocks in core portfolio? Core portfolio is more like buy and hold. You don't want to sell those stocks. Generally, you want to buy and hold these stocks. Say, for example, if you think that TCS is a one stock that will have significant later on will have a comeback. TCS is a giant. Currently, it is in a bad phase, whether you apply the rainbow or you apply the Dow structure. It is in a bad phase. So you want to buy these stocks as cheap as possible, because they will split, they will give dividends, and your overall return will be significantly higher. And people, because of the psychology portion, are crazy in their behavior. When a market downturn comes, they will sell everything from good quality to the bad quality. So it is important that you choose the stock in your core portfolio which at least you believe is going to stay for the next 15 years in the business. If you don't have a confidence it's going to remain in the business for 15-20 years, then you should not go into that stock. Core portfolio stocks you should not disturb. You only want to buy them as cheap as possible. So you want those stocks to crash completely. You want to become the regular investors to become fearful about that stock. You don't want to churn them too quickly. But if you want to know about a chart, which chart to follow, then weekly or monthly chart will be it. But once I discuss the money management matrix part, I think it will be more clear to you when, as a general rule, more passive way, you should hold or reduce position in those stocks. But yes, the chart to be used more in the weekly or the monthly category. GVT and the HCL Tech. So let's take HCL Tech is an IT stock. Indian IT stocks are generally in a bad shape, pretty bad shape, because of this Trump phenomena. Trump is sticking to his promise that he will bring jobs back to US, more technology companies in the US, and this is not good for service based IT companies. Majority of Indian IT companies are service based than product based. Many of them rely on cheap labor. Those things are not going to work out like it did in the past. If I apply the asset master now, you can clearly see that we don't have a rainbow buy signal. Also, there are tons of resistance. So going a stock, you don't want HCL Tech to remain range bound within 1600. You want to go into a stock which has longer opening. I have discussed about this, that stocks or commodities or the price generally tend to follow the principle of water. Water will always try to follow the path of least resistance. Similarly, the stocks will try to follow the path of least resistance. Currently, there are heavy resistances. So I'll not be very optimistic, though it is coming back from an important area. Not yet super optimistic about HCL Tech. But yes, it is bouncing back. Maybe we'll get some run, but I'm not expecting big run out of this stock. GVT and D. GVT and D. GE Vernova is the stock. Without even the rainbow, you can see the line chart is clearly in a bullish phase, Dow structure. बट साथ ही साथ एक चीज नोट कीजिए, यहां पे लोअर सेगमेंट में द मोमेंटम इज फेडिंग. द स्टॉक कुड बी once again under distribution or the consolidation phase. You can put a stop loss around this area 2890. If it breaks, you can see some significant correction in GVT and D. So far, even with our asset master, it is so far going well, but asset master has already given some signals. Like right side में देखिए fading bull, bulls fade हो रहा है. Short term momentum has turned bearish. So after a good run, will not be a bad idea to reallocate some of the money and fully exit if the Dow structure broken or we get a background yellow which is short trend neutral in the rainbow setup. The value at risk, which is shown in the upper table, is significantly high. It basically shows the level of risk. Value at risk 10.8%, which you can change in the setting 5 and 90. Basically, value at risk showing if you hold this stock in the next 5 weeks, the maximum drawdown you can get with a 90% confidence is 10.8%. This is a statistical measure. If you change 90% to tell me with a 95% confidence or with a 99.99% confidence, what can be my max loss? 26%. Generally, I prefer to have 90% confidence level, not 99.99. So with a 90% confidence level, the stock can give me a drawdown of 11% around. And as RS status has turned fading bull, bulls धीरे धीरे fade हो रहे हैं, it is not a bad idea to reallocate 25% of your capital in some other stocks. It has given very good run so far. Sequent Scientific and Nagrik Cap. Nagrik exports, okay, no, capital and infrastructure. सुपर एक बड़ा बाई आया है, big move. I'd like to know if there was any particular news or event that conspired this move. Overall, it has gone above the base. This is positive. We cannot say for sure whether the stock will continue to go up or go for range bound. So it is important that you remain open to both the possibilities. Also, the stock has moved very fast. Volatility is very high. Look at your drawdown chance. In next 5 weeks, with a 90%, if things go wrong, not necessarily it is a guaranteed drawdown. But if things go wrong, you can lose 30% of your money. Also, what else can we know? As the candle has broken a flat area, there is a good chance that it will not be able to break the next resistance. And if it cannot break the next resistance, it will go for some range bound. So initially, if I have to go into this stock, I will go some quantity. If it goes up to 50, great, I got 25% return. But if it does not, I have the remaining money to invest when after consolidation it goes up. So I will go into the stocks more step-by-step manner. Sequent Scientific. Overall going strong, but as all the scores are not satisfying, this is RS status is fading bull. So I manage with the quantity. Suppose जो मैं बोल रहा था कि we pre-decide how much quantity will go for one stock. Suppose I've decided I'll go 60,000 rupees in this Sequent Scientific. And I decide my quantity exposure based on these readings. If RS status is not there to support us, I will maximum go around 67 to 70% of that money into stock. Means I'll not keep the 60,000, I'll keep around 40 to 42,000 into this stock. Overall good, can significantly go up, rose from the base. It had our event pattern, dropped on the earnings and rose from the base. So structure wise, the stock is very good, sequent scientific. I'll prefer to hold the stock, but not in the full quantity. Eicher Motors, Ather nahi, Eicher Motors probably, and Maruti. Eicher Motors, the overall auto sector stocks have done well, but आप अगर देखोगे, let me go to the auto sector. थोड़ा auto sector का chart देख रहे हैं. You can see after a very good ride, the auto sector itself is going under a correction phase. So some of the stock which has given extremely good run. Let's look at another stock, Force Motors. Right timely exit. That means Force Motor is no longer that great. It is actually bearish and can fall significantly lower. So Eicher Motors is also started to undergo a correction. So what you can choose to do is, after a good run, take some money out and reallocate it, maybe metal sector. If I look at the metal sector, CNX metal, here is the metal sector, it has started doing better than the auto. If you look at the PSU bank sector, which I have been highlighting in my video, it has done better as well. So what Eicher Motors, or I will say in general the auto stocks, they are currently going under a consolidation. So Maruti will similar, expected it may see consolidation, but all are significantly bullish. So I will not reduce in case of Eicher more than 25% unless I get other conviction like short trend becoming neutral, which is background yellow. So let me look at the line chart as well. See, no Dow structure. So as auto sector is correcting, I'll prefer to take my stop loss towards this level at least. Let's look at the Eicher Motors once again. I'll press the stop loss around this area. Or if in the daily chart, if it's breaking down this particular level 6870, I'll significantly prefer to lower it. But overall, what we are seeing, Eicher is still somewhat strong because with this momentum fading, it is only consolidating, not dropping. So very likely further run is there in Eicher Motors as well as in Maruti. But they are currently going through a consolidation phase. VEDL and Astra Microwave. VEDL, Vedanta, I've highlighted Vedanta because of the metal segment, not just Vedanta, Tata Steel also highlighted. Tata Steel is interesting, very interesting, Tata Steel. Tata Steel in stock, try to get into a stock and try not to get out if you think that stock is going to give you 25% return in 1 year or 30%. That is sufficient. The more you make entry and exits, your chance of not making the 30% goes up because you compound your risk by early exiting into a stock. So if you think you have a good entry, which is more important than the exit, try to remain in that stock. It is rising from the base. Will it go up significantly? Nobody knows. But if it can break 500 level, the VEDL, it will give you way more than your 30% annual requirement. Way more than that provide करेगा. Majority stock will give you, अगर right phase पे लिए, will give you your required return. And you have only, from today's learning of storm, you only have 10 shots to fire. So choose well the stocks, see them rising from a base, look at the risk. When I'm going into stocks, say another stock, let's look at which is related, National Aluminium. Nobody knows that whether the stock will go significantly up or not. But we can know one thing, that this will provide a strong base. In rainbow system, the flat line work as strong support or resistance. And National Aluminium, after correction, it came back, which is showing the strength. So looking at the risk, my risk is limited. And if I need just 25% return, I need the stock to be around 280 level, that is here, not tomorrow, in 1 year. Very likely, majority stocks will give you that return. So focus on choosing the stocks well, not the one which will continue to give the best and you try to jump. The more you jump, your risk compounds and chance goes up that you will not be able to make it. एंड ये जो एक पंचिंग मशीन का फील आता है कि चार्ट देख रहे कुछ करने का मन होता है, क्यों होता है उसके पीछे भी एक साइकोलॉजी, और उसके लिए यूज द डेरिवेटिव्स, यूज कमोडिटी ट्रेडिंग, गोल्ड, सिल्वर, क्रूड ऑयल और मे बी निफ्टी ऑप्शंस, but stocks try to remain in them if you think the risk is much smaller, significantly lower. So VEDL or overall metal segment, I remain positive. Astra Microwave. No, you can see what this stock is doing. It is consolidating. एक range बना रहा है. And this is a good stock overall to keep a check on. क्योंकि देखिए 1000 जो साइकोलॉजी लेवल है उसके ऊपर सस्टेन कर रहा है स्टॉक. इट इज करंटली एक बेस फॉर्मेशन में. इसको बोलते हैं रेक्टेंगुलर बेस फॉर्मेशन. एक अपर एक स्ट्रॉन्ग लेवल डिसाइड हुआ, एक लोअर लेवल पे एक स्ट्रॉन्ग लेवल डिसाइड. सो इट इज इन अ रेक्टेंगुलर बेस फॉर्मेशन. Rectangular bases are very, very profitable once they break out. So in Astra Microwave, you want to see this level clear up and the stock to close above this level. Then you can see Astra Microwave moving up faster. Currently, if you are in position, you want to keep it limited. As momentum not there, ST Momo on the right side, RS status, relative strength is bearish. In future storm, we'll learn about measuring relative strength in relation to the money management matrix. Without any particular, simple way से हम लोग वो सीखेंगे. So let it form the base. And if you want to remain invested, remain small amount. Let this box break close. And once it closes above the box break, that is your green signal to do one round of purchase. And the more Dow structure it builds or rainbow pyramiding rule, you can add more quantity to Astra Micro. So it is currently, I'll say, in a range bound or consolidation phase. नेक्स्ट आ रहा है कि बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा एंड होटल, शैलेट होटल. Bank of Baroda, you know already, it is coming under what? PSU segment. And PSU segment, before I'll come back to Bank of Baroda, I am personally part invested in Bank of Baroda. This is the PSU bank, significantly going strong and can become even stronger. Similar chart आपको दिखेगा Bank of Baroda. See, similar kind of chart. What we can see in PSU bank index. So it has the capability to go up. Only problem that I see is the strength score. Unless I get the strength score above 70, I will not expect the stocks to fly around. मतलब बहुत fast profit और super fast move नहीं करने वाला है. That's why I have not gone yet the big quantity. I'm waiting it out. As well as you can check out this level. I want confident close above this, and I will be more confident once this white cross, that is at 251 level, will go above this blue line. That will give me super confidence the stock is ready to go up, and when it goes up, how much it will go up? 300, the psychology level. After that, we'll have to evaluate again. And that will be quite a good 15% return in a very short period of time. Next is Chalet Hotel. This stock, let's look at, not so great. ये जो breakout attempt हुआ, this breakout attempt fail हुआ. As a general rule, याद रखिए always that if a breakout fails, the opposite side movement happens very fast. मतलब significant risk रहता है कि it will fast move on the opposite side. यहाँ पे जो breakout fail हुआ, after that we are getting consolidation. कहां से fail हुआ देखिए, psychology level के आसपास, 1000 psychology level. And now what to expect? Do I expect big sell-off? No. There is a very strong base. एक stock super बढ़ने से पहले, it always go for range bound behavior. So Chalet is not fully bad yet, but as long as this level is being protected, it will have a range bound behavior, and after a right time it will go up. So how to approach this stock? If you want to invest very minimal quantity, and आपके मन में हो जाना चाहिए कि the stock can easily come down towards 860. And for that small quantity, you should not be fearful even if the stock is coming lower towards this level. You should be only fearful if it starts breaking below. But as we don't know the future, we will, if we are holding, we should not hold as per Rainbow. But if we are holding, I will hold much smaller quantity into this. We have to keep our losses as minimal as possible. Then our return will be able to cover. The more bigger loss we make, the chance of better return goes down. USA stock market Friday has given sharp drop. What is my view? US stock market has been rising steadily. Very, very strong rise. so far एक चीज मिसिंग था, has been missing from a recessionary sell-off is, I will say, psychological frenzy part. कि कुछ भी अच्छा है मार्केट में, everybody is jumping. That part has been missing. But US market has been steadily rising against all odds. Risk has gone up. President Trump's tariff is bound to create a slowdown in the economy over time. China's geopolitical tension has gone up, but US stock market defied everything. But now finally we have started to see an important correction. So I think the market very likely in the US will now have more decline to range bound behavior. The Trump tariff on China, that will create a lot of headwinds, but it does not ensure that our market will suffer equally. Because when US market was going up, Indian market was in a range bound. So US market, after a very, very long time, let me change it to index setup, has given us a sell signal after quite a long time. Last time it was in July 2025. Currently we have a sell signal, but sell is not strong enough. 36% only chance of winning, which is 1/3. That means it is more likely the market will be range bound. But if you are following the rainbow setup, you know few things to improve, do the drawings. That means the market will stop around this area where it is exactly at, and sellers on the other hand will try to break down from this area to make the sell off bigger. Once it breaks down from this area, then this will act as a support. After that, this will act as a support. Once these supports gets to cleared up, then only we will see heavy sell off in the US equity. Last Friday, I have significantly reduced quantity in my portfolio, like exited from Google, Apple, and I want to be on the sideline with cash on hand. So as the market declines, I can add more quantity. In addition to that, what I have done is I have shorted the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq via leveraged exchange traded fund, जिसके ETF buy करने से, these are inverse ETFs. As US market goes down, my inverse ETF prices will go up. So they will add protection to my existing stock portfolio. I'm still holding significant number of stocks, Berkshire Hathaway. I've invested some quantity in MAR, that is Marriott Hotel. I'm closely watching Netflix. I have a list of US stocks which I first take a look, could be getting ready. In my radar, let's see if it drops or this green signal will create a buy. I've exited significantly in Alibaba. It has given good run. Now I'm waiting out to see how this latest round of sell-off plays out in the overall equity market. Canada Bank and Sharda Energy is the next one. Canada Bank has gone up significantly, just PSU Bank Index. देखिए similar beautiful rise, and further rise मैं expect करूंगा at least towards 150 area. अब नेक्स्ट मंडे अगर निफ्टी में ड्रॉप आ रहा है, बैंक निफ्टी में ड्रॉप आ रहा है, I think Canada Bank, some good stocks, these are current momentum, good momentum stocks and good trend stocks. What they will do, they will have temporary correction. And after that, once again, they will start to go up. So overall, I remain positive on Canada Bank, Sharda Energy, Sharda Energy and Minerals, not doing well. Clearly, जो बाई चांस हुआ था, ब्रेकआउट फेल हुआ. जब भी कोई ब्रेकआउट फेल होता है, ऑपोजिट साइड रिस्क गोज अप. एंड यू नो फ्रॉम द रेनबो स्ट्रक्चर कि बियर्स विल ट्राई टू सेल ऑफ वाया दिस. तो ये आपके ध्यान में होना चाहिए. बियर्स आर बिकमिंग सक्सेसफुल, like these supports are taken out, then very likely they will try to break via this area. If directly selling off, then 379, these areas will start acting as support. So I'm not very confident in Sharda Energy. If I plan to enter Sharda Energy, use fine tuning. Fine tuning matlab lower time frame chart, daily chart, wait for a buy signal. So Sharda Energy is not good, unlike what we saw VEDL, Maruti, Acre, etc. Which stock is good for cash stock investing, FNO or non-FNO stock? Difficult to say. Usually, let's focus on what we learned from the storm so far. FNO stocks are largely those stocks which are big, like Reliance, ITC, SBI. Matlab largely the large cap stocks. So what we learned in the storm, the best investment during a bull market, like if this weekly chart or the monthly chart has shown bullish in Nifty, if the Nifty bulls are raging, one of the best sectors or market cap based investments are small cap stocks. In return wise, they will outperform. You don't need my comments. You just take a buy this business line and take a look at the mutual funds. You will see small cap mutual fund returning more. And during the down phase, जो हुआ था from last October, small caps are the worst. So it cannot be just say which one is good, FNO or non-FNO. You should not look it like this. FNO means largely large cap stocks. If I think overall market is in a bad phase and I have to hold stocks, like your mutual fund investor, mutual fund manager, due to regulation, they will have to hold stocks. They cannot just choose, okay, I'll go to gold. That is not allowed. So even when market goes down, they will have to hold stocks. And they are no better, specially better than you. Because look at their return, 1%, 1.2. Largely majority of you Rainbow members are beating the mutual fund managers. You should be way happy in doing that. Now what you have to do is continue that. This year, next year, every time try to beat those mutual fund managers. So if it's in a tough phase, you want to hold stocks which possibly FNO or the large cap, and not any stock. In the large cap, you want to those who are giving buy signal, Dow structure, inverted head and shoulder pattern. Inverted head and shoulder pattern is one of the best pattern, and you should practice it diligently first and know about them. I've covered this pattern in my Sunday stock storm. Look at inverted head and shoulder pattern in Nifty. These are one of the best patterns to do your investments. So in the large cap group or FNO group, find out the stocks. In the week, this is 125 for Nifty, but in the weekly chart are creating the patterns I recommended. Double bottom, inverted head and shoulder, box break, squeeze break, rounding pattern, cup and handle. These are one of the best patterns to invest with the stocks. And there are a few others which we have not yet covered or mentioned, will be mentioned in future sessions. So I cannot fully say just go for, look at the overall market condition and then you decide. And in the upcoming storm, say around 27 number storm or 28, I'll give you a very niche trick which will not be known to the general public about fundamental side, which stocks to choose very easily to outperform the ETF return as well as any mutual fund manager. But that is for 27 and 28 number of stock. Jindal Photo and Divi's Labs are the next. So let's once again go to the weekly chart. Jindal Photo Limited. It's a clear break, big bounce already ho chuka hai. Currently, I don't think there is an entry. There is no entry. It was after 3 correction, red caps, a strong buy move came. If you are already entered, continue to in this stock. Don't exit very quickly. Very likely it has more to give. छोटा मोटा correction से डरिए मत ऐसे stock में it is. But if you have not entered yet, there is no good entry point. Divi's Lab, wait it out. Wait out कीजिए. By chance अगर buy signal fail हुआ in Divi's Lab, you know that the sellers will try and break from this. If it tries and break, you will see Divi's Lab at 4,800. 1,600 drop. More than almost 20% के आसपास drop. So let it come back. It is coming back from a very strong area. ये रहा empty line. So let the comeback complete and then go for the Divi's Lab. But Divi's Lab, I think, is a pharma sector stock. And I'll fundamentally say pharma, Trump is not done with pharma. It has been his agenda to reduce the drug cost. And he is one of the rarest politicians who follow up on his promise. We may not like him, given what is adding to the problem, but we cannot deny he is one of those politicians who follows up what he said. And now with his second term, he is more fearless because he has no re-election coming up. So he is not at all done with the pharma sectors. So you should be a bit careful on what else he will impose on the pharma segment. So any pharma stocks, even if they are strong, like one pharma stock in my radar that is on the international market, I'm waiting it out, that is Pfizer. In the monthly chart, very long-term chart, it has started creating the base. So I have placed the alerts in Pfizer. This is the US Pfizer stock, NYSE. While the Trump tariff can be bad news for outside US pharma companies, it can be positive news for US-based pharma companies. So I am keeping Pfizer and Eli Lilly which is another pharmaceutical company in my radar. Bank of Baroda, Pavanji, we have covered. Next is Go Color and CDSL. CDSL एक ऐसा स्टॉक है, हर स्टॉक को सेम तरीके से ट्रीट मत कीजिए. स्टॉक को आप थोड़ा टाइम देंगे तो वो आपको बहुत अच्छा रिटर्न देगा इन द राइट फेज. ये क्लियरली बैड स्टॉक है गो कलर्स. मतलब स्टॉक बैड है नहीं बोल रहा हूं, बैड फेज में. एंड सपोज यहां से बाइंग आर, दैट्स द ब्यूटी विद दिस. लास्ट 1 or 2 stocks I'll take, time is up. That's the beauty of the setup. You can have a projection. Like if this stock is coming back, the bulls will try to break from this area. And that means this area is not coming until March next year. And there is a very strong resistance. Very, very strong. Strong resistance at these levels. So let's wait it out in Go Colors. At least give us confidence in Go Colors with buy signal. If you don't have the rainbow, at least you have the Dow. Dow structure is must. Even if you are a rainbow user, practicing Dow regularly is a must. The more you practice, the more you can see. And while you practice, it is important that you take note of every turn. Here, here. You cannot just take this one, no. Every turn drawing is important to master the Dow structure. Then only without actual drawing, आपको बहुत कुछ दिखेगा. So Go Colors is not a good one. Let's look at CDSL. CDSL. It is creating a base, clearly can be seen. But is it ready to give a super run? Let's focus and see what the stock is suggesting. Stock is forming a good base. We cannot say at this point that this range bound will not continue until April 2026. This stock you cannot treat as any other stock. CDSL, as long as Indian market exists, which will exist for next 20-30 years, CDSL will exist. So you want to buy these stocks as cheap as possible. Currently what you can see, you don't know that whether stock will be range bound or will go up steadily. But you can know few things, that the stock is forming some base. Empty line is or medium term trend line coming to support it. Strength not there, speed not there, RS not there. That means minimal investment is required. So do some quantity and wait out the next week. Then if you see more stronger behavior, add more quantity to it. Because nobody also can say that the stock bears will not these areas to break down. If it can break down from this area, then CDSL will drop towards this base. Same as NSDL. ये सब एरिया पे जेम है, जेम. Let it crash. Those who bought IPO, they will sell like crazy. Let it crash fully. And you want to buy when everybody is selling. Let's look at a new stock which we use, I personally use, Urban Clap, which is Urban Company. Urban Co. After the IPO, look at the drop. इसीलिए मैं इस बार बोल रहा था आईपीओ में मुझे एक हाइप दिख रहा है. IPO, I am seeing hype, big hype in IPO. This happens every time before recession. IPO market heats up. and retails are jumping on the IPOs. Urban Clap IPO was way oversubscribed. But you can now wait it out patiently, don't go for the frenzy, and get it at a better price. So Urban Company, if you don't have the rainbow say, what you will do? Wait for the DAO. Simple, एक DAO आने दीजिए, एक round of investment. Because when Urban Company will be ready, it will behave like Hyundai Motors. What happened? ये रहा Hyundai. Hyundai Motors. Hyundai Motors, after the IPO, look at the big drops. And from the big drop, it went like super up. IPO के अंदर secret gem छुपा हुआ रहता. Another area to look closely. But उसका secret है to wait out patiently. If you participate in the frenzy, ऐसे जब drop आएगा like Urban Company, you are not able to hold. And when Urban Company IPO is launching, you don't have enough earning data, not much data to evaluate what is an intrinsic value of that company. But if you have show a little bit of patience, and Urban Company can give you superb run, like gave Paytm. Rule is let it drop, let it crash completely. At some point it will stop. And when it stops, that is your superb time. Similarly, many other IPOs are going up initially like crazy and falling. Hidden gem रहते हैं वैसे IPO में. And when you go on those IPO at the right time, your return will be triple digit. So wait out in stocks like this. Keep some of your money dry, matlab ready to invest when the time comes right. So that's all for today. आज काफी एक्सटेंड हो गया स्टॉर्म टू आंसर लॉट ऑफ योर क्वेरीज. फिर भी काफी क्वेरी रह चुका है. I could not answer all of your stock queries. जितना हुआ possible I could answer. But keep a razor focused and कुछ सेगमेंट को अलग कर लीजिए कि which IPO segment you are interested, what would be the core portfolio, and what would be your swing portfolio. Swing portfolio के अंदर you can simply choose the Nifty 200 or maximum top Nifty 500 stocks. उससे ज्यादा जाने का जरूरत नहीं, because at one point in time, considering the core and the swing, you can maximum hold around 20 stocks. So it is much easier to find those 20 stocks in the right time within the Nifty 500 than searching for BSE, NSE, Nifty 2000 stocks. All the best wishes to you, friends. Thank you for joining today's storm. Best wishes. The storm recording will be released soon. This will from the next storm onwards, the recording will not be released publicly. It will go under YouTube membership section. But once all the 52 episodes are complete, I'm expecting to release this storm for free, but that may not come until the next year's June or July month. One last question came up with granules. It is going up in the daily chart. In the weekly chart, you can know it broke a flat line, so उसे resistance मिलने वाला है. Let the granule make a consolidation above this or create a V above the flat line. Then you can expect significant rise in the granules. Thank you so much. All the best wishes from my side to your trading and investing. And as always, happy trading.